Ooh.
Oh, here we are.
Here we are.
We are.
It's been a couple of weeks.
It's been a
I
while.
apologize about that.
Yeah, same here. This quarantine thing has
Yeah.
it's been a little weary, not trying to find other things to
bit.
do. Yeah, it's kind of a downer time. Blame it all on the governor, right?
I just needed a break, to be honest. It was just nice to take some time to myself, reflect, and
yes, we both
come back to it.
We both decided to take a brief hiatus. Kind of.
But we're back.
We're
back in action.
Yes, we are ready to rock it, and we are here to entertain you guys tonight. As of right now, we're filming. We're recording on May 12th, but the last time we recorded, the time between then, it was April. Yeah, there's so much that's happened in the few weeks.
There's been a lot.
There's been so much news, and we're going to kind of go over that. We haven't. Something that you guys probably don't know is normally beforehand we'll kind of discuss an outline on what we're going to talk about. This time we don't really have an outline. We're just going to kind of rant for a little while and stop when time is up.
Well, just talk about new media. This might be like a longer episode too, since we haven't done anything in a little bit.
Right. There's more to cover.
So, yeah. But I mean, I want to start off with the first one. This is more recent news, breaking news, but about Jerry Stiller.
Yes.
Super sad. I mean, most people probably know him from Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of his more common characters that he's played. I haven't watched the show in a while, so I can't really recall what his character's name was on that show.
Right, it's been a very long time.
Ben Stiller's dad.
Mm-hmm.
He just passed away. He was like 93 or 94 or something like that.
Right. He was along in years.
Yeah. He was in the 90s, and he died from natural causes. That was sad. That was kind of the upsetting news I saw this week that kind of sucks. Like, I've watched some of his stand-up before. I think he's a really funny guy.
Yes, he's a great writer. He's a great writer.
He's a great writer. He was hilarious in Seinfeld. Seinfeld, I think, is a great show.
Mm-hmm. Better than Friends.
Sucks to lose someone like that, but it's great to see someone like him have a good career.
Yes, a good legacy.
He's so loved too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And be loved by his family, because like Ben Stiller tweeted and all the pictures and stuff, it looked like they had a very healthy and loving relationship for the most part. I mean, obviously, I don't know, but I would like to think that they do, and it seems like they do just from all the comments and stuff about him. So,
So yes, our hearts go out to the Stiller family. Ben Stiller too. He's a great actor. He's really funny. He's got some good material that he's written for, I think, Saturday Night Live. He's contributed to a bunch of other sitcoms.
Sitcoms, movies. I mean, there's so many movies, Ben Stiller movies, that he's just been a cameo in.
And his cameos are legendary. They're truly a circle. They're not.
Great.
I wouldn't say that they're Stan Lee level, but they're definitely entertaining. Like in Friends.
Yeah.
His cameos in Friends were certainly hilarious. They weren't like Paul Rudd level. Paul Rudd's role in Friends started as a cameo, but we're getting off topic here. Not that there is a topic, but Trevor, I'll let you go ahead and start with what we're gonna be talking about here as far as movie news goes.
So we're starting. Like I said, we're just going over kind of stuff that's happened over the past couple of weeks. Also, I want to talk Mulan. Disney just announced that release date. I think it was July 27th. That got pushed back. Obviously, because of COVID-19, they pushed it back. It wasn't going to be released in theaters. Or they talked about releasing it straight to digital, or basically straight to Disney Plus. And I guess they spent money on it, so I guess that they're going to try and make money off of it, which makes sense. I mean, you spend money on something, you want to try and make a profit off of it.
Correct.
I don't blame them. So they're releasing that. I think July 27th was the date. I haven't heard anything about A Quiet Place 2 yet, which is driving me insane because I want to see it.
I really do.
And then what else was there? I thought I texted you something earlier today.
The Scooby-Doo movie, Scoob, will be released on digital Friday, which is probably going to be one of the first animated movies or whatever that was going to be in theaters, but due to this pandemic that we are in here, it's being pushed to straight to video.
Scoob is?
Scoob, yep. It's going to be premiering, I guess, on one of their websites or something. Not websites, like
right on.
Streaming platforms.
It's a Scooby-Doo movie, so I'm sure it's going to do fine.
Oh, yeah. Scooby-Doo is hilarious. Like, those cartoons were like my childhood.
It seems like every Scooby-Doo movie that comes out, like no matter what it is, it seems to do really successful just because it's Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm. Even though they have
one of those iconic names.
Right.
Yeah. It's like the Ninja Turtles. Like a Ninja Turtles movie comes out, and it usually does well just because it's the name. It just brings people in. And it's a generational thing. I mean, like my parents grew up with Scooby-Doo, and then I grew up with Scooby-Doo. Mm-hmm. And if I ever have kids one day, like Scooby-Doo is still around to where they'll probably grow up with Scooby-Doo as well.
Right. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure if my parents grew up with it, but I grew up with it a decent amount. Not as much as like Star Wars or anything like that, but I definitely watched it every now and then. But yep, Scooby is going to be one of the ones.
Well, and the thing with Scooby-Doo, and I think one of the reasons why it's been so successful, it's done the Power Ranger things, where your Power Rangers, every season of Power Rangers is a different season with different Power Rangers, a different group of characters, and with Scooby-Doo they stay true to the characters. Like they keep Daphne, Velma, Fred, and all them, but every season has like a different dynamic to this at the episodes. Like there's What's New Scooby-Doo, then there's Scooby-Doo Where Are You, which are two different generations, but the animation style is also completely different. The way the characters act are slightly different as well. So they change it up every season, which keeps it's almost like a new take on Scooby-Doo every season.
Right. Trying to appeal to probably different audiences.
Yeah, I think the only season that might have had 2 seasons would have been the first one, which I think is just it might have been Scooby-Doo Where Are You or something like that. But I think this is the only one that had 2 running seasons that were like the same series, and then after that they just broke it up into like every year or 2 they come out with a new season, and it's a different animation style.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
in other movie news, The Mandalorian has got some updates. The CEO of Disney said that they are still moving forward in production.
Oh yeah.
That they're not going to be halting production.
No delays
due to this COVID-19 thing, that they're still moving on, they're still shooting, they're still editing, they're still doing everything. And that just shows the power of Disney and the initiative that they're trying to achieve here, that they're not letting this pandemic get to them, that they're still trying to please the fans. And when they announced that, I was pretty impressed. That's a big move, especially in this uncertain time.
I'm freaking pumped.
And there's there's so many updates for The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, Star Wars in general.
Right, yeah. For Star Wars in general, Taika Waititi will be writing and directing his own Star Wars movie. The plot hasn't really been disclosed yet, but chances are going to be a standalone Star Wars movie set who knows when and who knows where, but with Taika Waititi...
Rumored has it that it's the Old Republic.
Okay.
That's a rumor, but it's all up in the air right now as well. So, I want to take that too seriously yet until there's more of an actual, like, legitimate rumor from someone who has an inside source. But that's kind of what the leaked rumor is right now. Is that it's but it's very loosely based off of something that somebody might have said. So there's no like actual confirmation or anything of it yet, though.
Right. Yes. And in other Mandalorian news, Ahsoka Tano will be making her live-action debut in the Star Wars franchise, as well as Boba Fett. Boba Fett is supposed to be making his return with the actor who played Jango Fett. It is Jango Fett.
Did you just record all that? Like, did it go through on your end? 'Cause I lost you there for a second.
Yeah, it caught it.
Okay. Cool, no problem then.
Yeah. Just a little outtake there.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening.
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett will be.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Ahsoka Tano on live action wise, because I'm just now watching I am just now actually watching through the Clone Wars.
Okay, what season are you in?
A while. I think the end of season 3 or 4.
Okay.
One of them. I just ended the plot line where basically they go and save, what's his face, Tarkin. They save Tarkin and a bunch of other guys from like a lockdown prison type situation. Ahsoka Tano sneaks in with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and Anakin's like, "You're not supposed to go," and Ahsoka Tano's like, "I talked to Master So and So about it. He said I could come."
Yep.
And then Tarkin and Anakin are talking, and they have similar viewpoints on basically the war and what's going on. And Obi-Wan's like, from a certain point of view. That's kind of
every
last episode. I don't know if that's season 3 or 4, but
yeah, every episode of that show always has some foreshadowing into the coming movies or the previous movies.
Yeah, I think it's great. I like it.
Yeah, the writing in that show is amazing.
But anyways, where I was going with that is I've gotten to like Ahsoka Tano because I hated her in the first season.
I can't blame you.
But I've gotten to like her now more that she acts, now that she stops calling R2 R2-y and that she wears an actual shirt.
Right. There's more development on
I like her a lot
as
more.
well. Like her character is more defined.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, she has a really cool story arc. And yeah, I'm excited to see her live action.
I would definitely recommend before you watch Mandalorian Season 2 when it comes out, definitely finish the Clone Wars to kind of see where everything's gone. I finished Season 7, which premiered on Disney Plus very recently. And oh my goodness, it really tugged on my heartstrings, guys. I'm telling you.
Really good.
It's mega good. We're not paid to talk about any of this, so we're not like sellouts or anything. But I highly, highly recommend that you go and watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Star Wars:
Clone Wars. It starts off rough. The first season
I don't know why I sang that.
and the half of the second season. The first half of the second season, but after that, the writing is a lot better. The dialogue is less cheesy, and it's just all out amazing. It's just all out great.
Yeah. Yes. I know. I like it. I like it a lot. The animation style is hard for me to get used to at first because I am an animation guy. I like older animation more than newer animation, to be honest. So like a lot of children's cartoons and a lot of children's shows now are going into like the 3D animation kind of look, and it might just be because I grew up with the 2D animation, so I might just be basically accustomed to that taste, but I'm not really a fan of a lot of the newer animation, so that was really hard for me to get used to at first. They almost look like plastic, like action figures.
Yes,
and
I was
their movement like, really like this.
Their movement seemed more robotic. And they definitely seem more plastic. It was like Superman's mustache in Justice League.
Yeah.
Not exactly defined.
It's like there's like a good animation for me would have been like Monsters Inc., for example, where
most definitely.
Sully's hair like moves with him, and I get that animation style would be really expensive, especially for a show on Cartoon Network, so I understand why they don't have that animation style.
Right.
But that's just like the kind of 3D animation that I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Where like the plasticky, that's my biggest thing I don't like about it is just that. But
yes, it definitely gets better.
I got over it, and you can too. The story writing is good enough, and the episodes are interesting enough to where I was able to push through it and kind of get over it.
I would say that the Clone Wars is definitely better than Rebels. Rebels was alright, because, okay, here's the thing about Rebels, is it was coming out right before and right after The Force Awakens came out, so there was already this huge buzz for Star Wars again. Now, there's always a buzz for Star Wars, but there was an awakening. Haha, callback. And so people who had never seen Star Wars are now hearing that there's going to be a new movie. Disney was like, hey, we can jump on this opportunity and we can make another show. And there were characters from the Clone Wars that were in Rebels. It shouldn't be a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. It just didn't feel really... It didn't flow very well for me, the Rebels. Now, there were some like inaccuracies on their part. But hey, I mean, nobody's perfect, I definitely prefer the Clone Wars over Rebels. So let's see. I know that there's more news. I'm just trying to think of some off the top of my head.
Well, I have one that to bring up, and this one is about drive-ins. So as you know, a lot of movie theaters are actually closed down right now. No big deal, like whatever. And a lot of drive-ins, at least in Michigan, I don't know other states. I know there are a couple of other states that have opened up drive-ins, but basically drive-ins are basically bringing movie experiences now. So if you wanted to go to the movies, drive-ins are open. They're keeping people 6 feet apart. They're doing like online ticketing and like online ordering for snacks and stuff like that. With most drive-ins, you can even bring your own snacks, and I think this is awesome. I'm like, I hope drive-ins make a comeback this year, because I think that'd be sweet. But a lot of drive-ins are open right now, which is really interesting. A lot of them, from what it looks like, aren't playing a lot of new movies because a lot of them just haven't been released. But like the Highway Drive-In up in Carsonville, I think it is, they're playing like Sonic, which is a newer movie. And the funny thing about Sonic is that it's actually ranked number 4 in the highest grossing movies of this year.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Which is funny because it came out like a month and a half ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Number 2 was 1917, and then 1 is Bad Boys for Life.
Man, so this has been a really bad year so far. That
should tell you how good of a year it's been for movies. And did you see this? Did you see the thing about AMC?
I did. It said, I read somewhere that like Amazon was going to buy AMC, or someone was planning a buyout.
Well, the one that I saw was basically AMC is done showing all Universal movies.
Yes, I remember that.
Because of Trolls World Tour. Universal released Trolls World Tour just straight to DVD, streaming services. And it made theaters mad, AMC, because AMC spent money to advertise Trolls World Tour.
Yep.
And the first one, I don't have the numbers on me. I was looking at them at one point, but the first one was very successful. The first Trolls movie.
I thought it was
like
hilarious.
100 million.
I loved that movie.
It was like 100 million in the U.S. and then like 300 million domestically or something like that. So Trolls World Tour has been playing domestically in theaters, and it ranked in like opening weekend like $130 million domestically. So you could understand why AMC would be, I'm gonna say the P word here, pissed.
I don't think that's a bad word.
You could see that they'd be ticked out about it, because they're losing potentially hundreds of millions of dollars on a movie that is getting good ratings and is going to be, if it's successful overseas, it's going to be successful in America.
Right.
So I don't think it's going to last very long, because that's a lot of movies.
Yeah. In other movie news, it's kind of a lesser known tidbit, but Nick Fury is going to be having his own Marvel show on Disney Plus that I think they said is going to be released sometime next week, called The Fury Files.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
The Fury Files. I'm looking forward to that. I guess it's supposed to be just about his backstory or whatever. Something. It's going to be something. I'm really looking forward to it.
And speaking of that, since we're on Nick Fury, did you hear about what Marvel is doing with all of their movies now?
What are they doing?
Basically, from my understanding, is so they pushed back Black Widow, and basically they're pushing back every single Marvel movie now.
Okay. Oh yes, I had seen
because they want to release Black Widow. So basically, Black Widow comes out. I don't know the date right now because I don't really care that much about Black Widow. But the date, the movie Black Widow is going to come out. They were talking about and debating releasing it like they did with some of the other movies, and I think they didn't. I think they're just trying. I think they want to show us something at the end credits scene, or they want us to see something that makes us go to the theaters to see it, basically.
Right.
Is why I don't think they did it. But now because of they're pushing back the Black Widow date. They're basically pushing back every movie date for all the future Marvel movies now.
They really want us
so
to
that
see
means
it.
some movies are coming out until 2022 now.
Yeah, it's really sad
for some of them.
It's really sad,
which is frustrating. I think if you're a Marvel fan, that's frustrating because you're probably like you might have your hopes up for a certain movie. I know it's also so far away too. Like I don't really care for a movie that's coming out in 2022. I mean that's 2 years away. I'm not concerned about it, but if you are looking forward to a movie, I could see why that would be frustrating because now you're pushing back the inevitable. And you have to wait longer to see these movies.
And this will be my last tidbit for movie news here, and then we'll just get into our rants.
Okay.
And live action Hercules from the cartoon will be making its debut in a few years, based on the 1997 animated movie. The Russo brothers will be in charge of it as far as production and directing and writing goes. I have no doubt in my mind that they will try. I would love to see Chris Hemsworth play Thor and Tom Hiddleston who play... No, let me backtrack it here because I got my names mixed up. I would love to see Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, play Hercules. And I would love to see Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki, play Hades. I feel like that would just be a match made in heaven. It would be so perfect. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
And Danny DeVito needs to play Phil.
Yes.
They did ask someone to play Phil.
Josh Gad, I bet.
What the
I'll bet
actor's
it was
name
Josh
was.
Gad.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. It might have been, but his response was basically he can't play Phil from Hercules because Danny DeVito is supposed to play him.
The amount of respect.
I'm really hoping.
I love it.
I am really hoping that they just have Danny DeVito do it. I mean, he's still acting. He was in Jumanji too. So
oh my gosh,
he's still down to act. So I think he should do it. And the other word of advice for the writing that would give the Russo is to get on the Hydra's back.
To get what?
Get on the Hydra's back.
Oh my gosh.
It's a Kingdom Hearts joke.
Yeah.
I threw a video game joke into a movie podcast.
Yep,
Shoot me.
I get it. It's okay, That's all I have for movie news. Are we ready to get into our ranting here?
Yeah. I'm ready to get into ranting.
Go for it, buddy.
This goes into movie news as well. But one thing that I saw lately, and I'm gonna steal your signature move here.
You're gonna get out of the chair.
I'm getting heated already. I am so angry right now. So they spent. Apparently, this is a post I read, and I probably should have read it more, but $1 billion, billions, and with a B, $1 billion. They're spending for the movie Avatar.
James Cameron, yes,
right.
Oh,
With James Cameron, billion. That is more money than Endgame and Infinity War combined, and they are spending $1 billion on the movie.
It's ridiculous.
Oh. Okay, I'm out of my chair now.
There he goes.
Hold on, let me. I got to turn it off.
Okay, go for it.
But so here's the thing. Avatar was the highest grossing movie 10 years ago?
10 years ago.
Years ago
yes,
or something
it was
like
10
that.
years ago.
And it was for the longest time. And the thing is, the movie is not even that good.
It's terrible.
Okay, people.
It's just Pocahontas.
Whenever you go,
it's just Pocahontas.
Whenever you have people talk about their top movie lists, you want to know what people say? They say Titanic, which was a highest grossing film. They say Star Wars, which was a highest grossing film. Even Endgame, Infinity War is on there. Really good movies. You want to know what people don't
Avatar.
say this day, 10 years later? Nobody says Avatar is their favorite movie that they just want to watch over and over again.
Because it's terrible.
Because it's not that good. The only reason why it did good is because people were in the theaters with their 3D glasses and they took advantage of the 3D time. That's the only reason why it's popular.
I mean, I will say, okay.
Nobody asked for an Avatar 2. Nobody wants it. Especially 6 of them. They're going 6 movies
that's a little over
of
the
Avatar.
Top. I don't know where he found all that time to write all those.
It's just ridiculous. And they probably haven't even written them yet. They're going to do it like they do every other movie. Write the first one, then write the second one. I'm heated.
I will say though,
I'm heated. It's a franchise. It's a franchise that is not even finished yet, and it needs to die.
Yes.
Okay.
I will say the visuals. Okay. I will say, the first time that I saw it was maybe 2 years ago. I just didn't care when I was a young lad. Yeah. I was maybe 7 years old when it first came out. So first of all, I wasn't allowed to see it.
The visuals
are really cool.
When I saw the movie,
it's very colorful.
It's
captivating.
Yeah, I saw the movie in 3D and IMAX because I had a friend that took me to go see it when it came out, and it did. It's visually appealing. It does look really good, yes. Especially in 3D. And especially in 3D, it was really good.
It's just not one of those movies that you can like watch at home, like on a laptop or a movie screen.
Exactly.
You just can't.
And then like when the movie came out in DVD, my parents rented it, and I watched it with my parents back when you could rent movies.
Right.
My parents rented it and watched it, and I was like, man, I did not enjoy this movie. So then recently at work, we were having just like a viewing party where we were just hanging out, having a good time, like after work one day. One of the guys is Disney Plus and put on Avatar. So we were watching Avatar, and then needless to say, we got like a quarter of the way through it, and then we just stopped watching it because we're just like, wow, this movie sucks.
It just
like it's not.
It's one of those movies.
I don't think it's a good movie.
Right. It's just one of those movies that you watch in the theater, and then you think, man, that was a really dang good movie, and then you get home and you watch it on a TV screen, and then you're like, man, I just realized that you can only watch this on the big screen in IMAX 3D. That's the only reason it was made. Okay, that's
and I'm sure that it looks great on my 4K television. Like if I'm having people over and I just wanted to put something on there that's visually stunning, like hey, maybe I'll just like take a screenshot and just like pause Avatar and just like have some like random scene in the background or something. I'm sure that would look great. I don't want to watch the movie again though, let alone 6 of them. Like if this when Avatar 2 comes out, whenever it is, I'm not gonna go see it in theaters.
I'll just rent it from the library. I'll just get it from the library,
and I'm just gonna get it when it comes out because I'm not excited for it. The franchise needs to die.
The acting was terrible.
Just be what it is.
The story was literally just Pocahontas and Alien mixed. That's all it was.
Yeah, like exactly. The acting is very mediocre, and I'm sorry for all the people that have worked on Avatar and
It's not you. It's James Cameron.
Movie and all that stuff.
It's not you.
It's not a good movie.
It's just not.
Yeah, it's not the people that are involved with it. It's just not.
You guys really did work hard.
I'm sorry for anybody that
really worked hard on it. You've been working on it for what, 20 years? It was in production for 20 years, and then it finally came out.
And I'm sorry. For everybody that loves Avatar.
You're wrong.
It's not a good
They're
movie.
just
I'm
wrong.
Sorry.
It's.
You just love it. You just love it for the nostalgia.
Yes, you just love it because it looks pretty. It's colorful.
It's like playing Super Smash Bros. 64. People only like it for the nostalgia.
Exactly.
It's not a good game anymore. It's all nostalgia.
Yes.
And also, speaking of franchises that need to die.
I'm ready. List it.
All right, I'm keep going. I'm just gonna keep
heated.
ripping
I've got
them out,
adrenaline, buddy. Here we go.
This next movie is 14 movies out. 14. They started in 2001. There's 14 movies out. Okay, Star Wars has 10 movies
11.
out. And granted, Star Wars is getting up there too. Or 11 movies out. And granted, Star Wars is up there too. But how many years has it taken for Star Wars to get 11 movies?
40
even
years.
Rocky has a ton of movies. This movie started in 2001. Has 14 movies. There's another one coming out, I think, next year. They're coming out fast.
And
I'm furious about it. And I am talking about you, Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Stop making movies.
Stop it. And see, I can't blame AMC for not wanting to show Universal movies because you know who makes the Fast and the Furious movies? Universal Studios.
Oh, good. Here's the thing. Like, I remember the first Fast and Furious movie when it came out. I
was just born, so I didn't see it.
I'd probably still like it.
Yeah.
I'd probably still like it going back and watching it. The first two are pretty decent. Then there was like Tokyo Drift, and then they started naming them so weird. It's like Too Fast, Too Furious.
The titles were just weird.
Fast and Furious Fast and Furious 4, which is a prequel to number 1, but it's the 4th movie. So if you want to watch them chronological order, you have to watch 4 first, and then you have to watch 1, 2, 3, and 5, and then you have to watch 6 in between 1 and 3, or something like that. Like, I can't remember anymore.
Yeah.
And there's probably a Fast and Furious fan that's going to listen to this and be like, I love Fast and Furious. That's not the right order of the movies. But that's not the point.
Wrong.
The point is there's too many movies.
Okay.
There's 14 movies.
I will say
that in 20 years, they released 14 movies, and not all of them are direct sequels to like the Fast and Furious, move titles. But there's like Hobbs and Shaw.
I did like Hobbs and Shaw.
Some
I thought that was funny.
There's some other spin-off movies that are like right in the middle of it, but it's ridiculous. They need to stop. I'm getting sick of seeing posters of them. I'm getting sick of seeing these stupid Vin Diesel, muscle-headed Vin Diesel, bald
with
dude
the cross
just
necklace
on these posters every summer.
It needs to stop. And the action isn't good. People keep on commenting that's just how it was in the 80s. No! The 80s had really big buff guys. They didn't rely on explosions going on everywhere and hot cars and chicks who are like barely covered.
And here's the thing. Like, I understand that movies are supposed to be unrealistic. There's sci-fi movies that are supposed to be way unrealistic, but this still takes place in an Earth, so it's like you gotta keep some realism to it at the same time. And when I was watching Fast and Furious 6, there's doing these things where they're driving on ice, and there's like a big submarine chasing them behind it, and they're like outrunning a submarine on ice. And like as the ice is like chunking up the car behind it, and they're just driving perfectly straight in this ice, and that just annoyed the crap out of me. I'm like,
movie. But
you can't even drive. You can't even drive on the road. It's the 7th movie. It's like you can't even drive on the road with like a little tiny sheet of ice without fishtailing. I live in Michigan. I know. So like, how are they getting away with like driving behind a submarine? It's stupid.
And like they press one button and then a rocket pops out of the car's butt and then just shoots them like 500,000 yards.
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe if it's because I haven't seen all of the movies in between, that I was lost in the story. But the storyline was so confusing. It's like, wait, you're a good guy and you help these guys out, but like you're actually a bad guy working for these guys. But then like you want to become a good guy because like you're trying to get money because like they took your daughter.
The characters stay the same throughout all of 20 years of these films. I shouldn't even say films. They're kiddie projects. Okay, this is what Steven Spielberg shot on his Super 8 his Super 8 camera with little wires and toy cars. I would rather watch those than the Fast and Furious movies. Okay, because that's Steven Spielberg. All right.
I would trust Steven Spielberg with Indiana Jones 5 more than I trust Fast and Furious movie, which he might not even be doing now.
Yeah, I heard that he was stepping away from that possibly. He's getting old though. I mean, I think he might be retiring soon.
Yes, listen, just do Indy 5 and retire.
Do Indy 5 and call it good.
Then Indy 5 and retire.
I will say though, I do think that Jon Favreau and like Taika Waititi and Sam Hargrave, I think those guys are probably going to like take on the mantle as like the next best directors, along with like J.J. Abrams.
Well,
and
you know what? I hope they don't. I hope that the franchise just dies with all of the characters in the movie except for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because he's the only person that I like as an actor. Right. I like the other guys as actors too. I don't want to beat them. They're fine. I don't have nothing against Vin Diesel. I have nothing against
It's just the characters. It's how the characters are written and how they're directed. Because it's the director's job to go to the actor and say, hey, here is how I want this scene to go. Here is my, like, I have the script right here. It was written by someone else. Here is my take on it. Here is how I want it to be delivered. And the director every time completely tanks on it. He fails every time. Right? It's like M. Night Shyamalan directing Mark Wahlberg in that one movie that he did. I can't even remember what it was called. You see, like Mark Wahlberg had no emotion in that movie. He just looked straight at the camera and he said, I'm just going to approach this situation in a very positive manner here.
Well, it's like, and And you know what? Here's what I think about Fast and Furious movies. I would love to do a review on the next one, and I would tell you all about it, but I'm not going to see it again.
Yep, same here. I'm
That's
done.
That's it. I'm done. I'm done with the puns. Well, maybe not.
The dialogue is so bad.
I have no more Fast and Furious jokes in me, though. I'm heated. I'm red right now because I don't like the Fast and Furious movies. They are one of my least favorite franchise movies in the cinema. I'm not kidding. Like, out of everything, it's one of my least favorite movie franchises.
Yeah, I can definitely agree.
Since we're on the topic of movie franchises that should die, I'm just gonna go right into the next one. And you might not agree with me on this one.
Maybe not.
But this one is getting kind of old to me, especially since I love the franchise so much. But I'm ready to see it die. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Especially since Johnny Depp was fired, and now Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Amber Heard, his ex-wife, who beat the living snot out of him, of all people, is going to be taking his role. First of all, okay, let me start this off here.
Ridiculous.
Let me start off. See, now I'm getting mad. Let me start off by saying that I am
angry about it
100% down and supportive and for women in leading roles and strong female roles. Okay, I think that's awesome. I see it all the time. I see it in Wonder Woman. I see it in Star Wars.
It's why she has the role that's disturbing, though. Because they did the whole lawsuit thing, and then they fired Johnny Depp because of her accusing him of basically abuse.
Which in reality, it was her. It was her both verbally and physically abusing him.
And then they got divorced. She took his money, and then he countersued. And it turns out that she was actually the abuser.
Right, and you can't go back.
And not the abusee.
You can revisit
and there's proof about it.
But what's done is done. She's not my favorite.
But then they're giving her. But then it's like, we're gonna make a Pirates 6 without Jack Sparrow. It's like Jack Sparrow is the selling point of the movie.
It's like having Frozen.
Yeah.
It's like having the Frozen franchise without Olaf, or like having Star Wars without the Force. It just doesn't work.
It's like having Indiana Jones. Without Indiana Jones.
It just does not work. Okay? Pirates of the Caribbean is one of the best adventure franchises out there. Okay?
That's what I mean. And that's why I said I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Number 5 was kind of rough.
It was rough. It was not as rough as on Stranger Tides. Okay? Stranger Tides was... Yeah. Okay, I
like 4 better than 5.
I say hot garbage. This is a totally new meaning. Okay, they redefined the term hot garbage. Okay, there was zero plot. There was zero motivation. They just went in and they did a thing, and then the credits rolled. That's exactly what happened.
And then like they killed off all the characters too, except for
Jack
Sparrow.
Everyone is dead now.
So it's just like, by the way, they're like no more Will Turner. They're like, first, we're going to make a 4th movie without Will Turner. And then we're going to bring him back in the 5th one. But then we're going to kill him off.
He's not killed off, but his character was just written away.
He just disappears with his weird little... story with the pirate ship.
He was just written out.
That makes no sense. And then, they kill off... what's his face? Barbossa.
They killed Barbossa.
Which is like one of the best characters in the film.
He was like the best villain. He was the best villain.
He was. And then they kill off those... Or I don't even think they kill him off. They just don't put him in there. There's like 2 like goofy, quirky guys. They just wrote them
out. The characters weren't... The actors weren't...
They just like wrote those characters out.
They were told to stay away.
So like a lot of the things that you love about the Pirates movies, like they took out of the 5th one. And that's why I'm like, it kind of just needs to die. I'm sick of these Pirate of the Caribbean movies coming out. As much as I love them, at least the first 4... and even the fourth one I actually like quite a bit, but the 5th one I'm like,
see those movies really have a kind of a special place in my heart. Okay, I started to watch those movies when I was really getting into kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? I guess the kind of Steven Spielberg Super 8 thing. You're a kid and you want to make movies, right? And the only way that you can do that is with your iPhone and your imagination. Right now, for me, it was an iPad, and now when I was watching those movies as a freshman in high school, I would make little home videos that were kind of like parodies of those. Now they're probably floating somewhere on YouTube or on my computer. They're definitely somewhere, but those movies are what really got me into filmmaking. Aside from listening to George Lucas talk about how he got into Star Wars, it was really when I started watching Pirates of the Caribbean that I knew I wanted to get into filmmaking. And just watching the characters develop over those 5 films, and watching Jack Sparrow and Will Turner kind of have this brotherly, best friend, arch enemy kind of dynamic about them. I was like, oh my goodness, these characters are so well conceived, they just can't change. Right? It's like if Luke Skywalker, his motive was rewritten. Haha, Ryan Johnson. But Pirates of the Caribbean isn't what it is anymore. It isn't what it was back 20 years ago. It's completely changed.
No, and they just need to...
It needs to die.
Yeah. And
no, not die. It needs to rest
stop them
peacefully. They need to...
Yeah, they just need to stop making them and just end it. They shouldn't even release 6, I think. I think they should just stop making them and just stop with 5. Just end it there and just... It is what it is. Like, I'm fine with there being 5 movies. Because it's not like it's going to change anyway. And I can still enjoy them for what they are. I love the first one.
I love the first one
a lot.
Out of all of them.
Yeah, the first one's the best by far. But I can still enjoy them without me thinking about how horrible the franchise is in the future, and like not, it's like I could be like, hey guys, let's watch Pirates of the Caribbean, and people would be like, yeah, sure, like, we love those movies. Not like where you're at like with Star Wars, or it's like, oh yeah, let's watch Star Wars, and people have to go with which ones do you want to watch?
With Pirates of the Caribbean,
because they want to watch, because everybody wants to watch the good ones.
Because it's consistent.
Yeah.
Somewhat. I feel like they kind of got just a little bit... Yeah. They didn't get better. They kind of stayed... They either stayed the same or they got a little bit worse. The third one was a little bit rough. But the first 2 were perfect.
That's how I feel. But it's like... I go from like the Pirates of the Caribbean for me is like a 9 out of 10, where it's like number 2 is like an 8 out of 10, and then number 3 is like an 8 out of 10. Indeed. Still. So it's like the declining is like very slight. It's like I enjoy the first one slightly more than the second and the third one.
Same here. And Johnny Depp is exactly what they needed. Like nobody else could have done Jack Sparrow. Yeah. It's like, okay, I say this loosely.
No.
Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. Okay? Like I feel like in this day and age, nobody else could pull off their uniqueness to what they did for that character. Like, everyone had their own take, right? Heath Ledger had his own, I guess, maniacal take on the Joker. Joaquin had his more maddening take on him. Everyone had their own take. But with Jack Sparrow, you just can't do that. You know why? Because it hasn't been redone and rebooted. Because
he's his own character. He is
his own character.
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny Depp was born to play Jack Sparrow. He was born to revive that franchise.
That was his calling.
That is the only reason that people go to see Pirates of the Caribbean, is because it's Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's Pirates of the Caribbean without Jack Sparrow is like ice cream that's melted.
I'm not quite catching your metaphor here, but you know what? I'll go with it.
Well, it's like it's not the same. It's like it's not the creamy. It's not good. It's melted. It's like all over the cone and just gross and not satisfying.
I get you now. Another franchise that needs to die, the Transformers franchise. Okay, now before anyone attacks me,
I would agree with that.
Okay, I'm not. I wasn't born into like a Transformers family, right? Like I watched the cartoons when I was little every now and then. It was more of I was not allowed to watch the Transformers movies when I was a kid, okay? And it's mainly because of Megan Fox and her portrayal of... I almost said April because of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But whatever her character's name was.
I don't even
remember.
That
just shows that her character was easily forgettable. I'm not criticizing her performance.
I am.
I'm just saying... Okay. Yeah, go for it.
She was...
Transformers movies. So, first of all, Michael Bay. Okay, Michael Bay has a bit of a problem with explosions.
Yeah.
And half.
I'm just gonna insert an explosion drop like right in the middle of his.
There we go.
That's basically a Michael Bay movie.
Michael Bay doesn't know how to write a character.
That's basically Michael Bay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Michael Bay does not know how to write a character. He does not know how to write a plot. He knows how to point a camera. He knows how to write crappy dialogue.
He knows how to write an explosion.
But Michael Bay, right? Michael Bay,
like if you want a lot of explosions, watch a Michael Bay movie.
He knows how to direct stunt.
Yeah.
He knows how to do.
Like he's very good at that. Like honestly, he is. I'm not.
Yes.
Like all jokes aside, he is great at. Like you said, like big stunts and explosions and action scenes. Like he's great at that.
He knows how to direct action movies. Okay? But he made Transformers. Mm-hmm. Okay?
The first one was pretty successful too. The first one wasn't bad.
The first one. It was the second one that really made me mad. Okay, now I didn't watch them when they first came out, right? When I was growing up, I heard that they were really great, okay? Now, when I first watched them for the first time, okay, it was maybe 2 years ago. I was with some buddies after work at camp, and we decided to watch the Transformers movies.
What?
Because
you guys watched Transformers without me?
Yeah, we did because we knew you were going to yell at it. But
jerks.
It was Brendan and I, or Brandon, whichever one it is. I can't remember.
It was Brendan.
Shout out to Brendan.
Yeah, shout out
to
Brendan.
How you doing, Brendan?
Yeah, we miss you, buddy. But we watched it, and we talked about it for a long time, and man, I had always heard that they were really fun to watch, but they were too cheesy, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go into this with an open mind. Okay? The MacGuffin, which, if in case you didn't know, is a term appointed by Alfred Hitchcock, which is like an object in a movie in which the plot evolves. Okay? The MacGuffin of the movie is the laziest MacGuffin of all time.
Yeah,
okay, you've got the Infinity Stones, right?
Yep.
There's a lot revolving around the Infinity Stones. All right, they have the power. Like, it's gradually revealed after each movie, right? The tension built up from those movies is what made Infinity War and Endgame so great. Okay, the MacGuffin in Transformers is just the heart of their planet. Okay, it's this cube. I know it's not called the Tesseract, but you know what? Screw it. I'm going to call it the Tesseract.
It's called the Allspark.
The Tesseract, man, the acting from Shia LaBeouf, the acting from Megan Fox. It's just they were just two kids. No, I'm not attacking them or their performances. Okay,
Shia LaBeouf.
I'm not attacking their personality.
LaBeouf is attacking you.
Okay, he can kiss my butt. I don't care.
Natural.
This is a kid.
He's a natural sprinter.
Stop. I'm losing focus here.
I can't say his name. Kids. I cannot think of Shia LaBeouf and say his name without thinking of Shia LaBeouf live.
Shia LaBeouf. Sorry. But they were two kids. They were like two Motown singers, okay? Just young and easy to deceive. That's exactly how it went, okay? Michael Bay approached them saying, hey, kids, you want to be the next tabloid kids? Do you want to be big and famous? Do you want to work on my movie? Do you want to be a great actor? I can help you with that. They're just like,
yeah, dog, because anybody would say,
yeah, sure, we'll go for it.
Just me to be in a movie, I'd say yes. Why wouldn't I? I'm gonna make millions of dollars.
Yeah,
I must be a sellout, of course.
It just kills your reputation. Yeah. Okay, Shia LaBeouf is a very talented actor. It's just when you have Transformers
robots
on your resume,
in disguise,
that's going to hurt your career.
Yeah.
Okay, because people who saw that,
well, he hurt his.
Saw
Shia
you
LaBeouf,
as an actor.
To be fair, hurt his own career.
Yes, he did. He made choices that weren't great.
I mean, he was
okay.
He did that
He's
whole
still a
just
good person.
did that whole just do it thing, and there's that weird ponytail braid thing that he was rocking, and drugs.
But it's okay. After the first movie, I thought it was all right. Yeah. I thought it was fun. I saw why people hated it.
The first movie. The first movie I enjoy. I would go back and watch the first movie still. Honestly, I think it's fine.
Okay, I respect that.
It gets a little bit more hate than I think now, just because of the other movies. But it's like I was saying with the Pirates of the Caribbean thing. Like Pirates of the Caribbean 1's great, and before that, but if they keep making them, people are just going to be like, instead of being like, oh cool, Pirates of the Caribbean, people are going to go, ugh.
It's like they feel obligated to go and see it. Yeah,
but that's how I feel about the Transformers movies. Like I think the first one is fine. As its own movie, I think it's fine. I think it's a good movie. It's a fun movie. But then after that, they all just kind of go downhill. So then it just kind of gets tarnished. When you say Transformers, you're just like, ugh, Transformers.
That's exactly the thing that comes to mind. You don't think, nowadays, it's like you don't think about the toys. You don't think about the action figures.
You think of the movies.
About the TV shows. You just think about explosions.
And the Michael Bay movies.
And girls on cars.
Yeah.
That's all that you can think about, right? That's not what the franchise is supposed to be. Okay? It's supposed to be robots.
In disguise.
Robots in disguise.
Yeah.
Right? It's supposed to be about robots who come to Earth and are disguised instead of robots coming to Earth and blowing everything up.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not what Transformers is supposed to be. Michael Bay completely tarnished the franchise.
Yeah.
He ruined it. He made it into something that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Right? He made it too adult. He put in way too many sex jokes.
Yeah.
The dialogue was terrible.
He gave a Transformer balls.
It just made you awkward. It made you feel awkward, right?
Yeah.
Like kids are going to go see this movie.
Well,
and then they're going to talk about robot testicles.
Yeah.
And then the kids are going to be like,
yeah, exactly. And that's not what you want it's not what you want your 8-year-old kid to see if you would take him to the movies.
Right.
Granted, that's why there's ratings on movies. But still, like that's not like it was stupid. Like it just seemed very immature that you would put that in a movie in the first place. I mean, that's like those guys.
And then Mark Wahlberg stepped in.
Yeah.
I'm not stepping on Mark Wahlberg. I think that he's actually a really good guy. He's done a lot of self-improvement stuff. He's really changed over the years.
Wasn't Mark Wahlberg in the fourth one?
He's in the fourth one and the fifth one.
Okay, the fifth one.
Yes.
Because Shia LaBeouf for the first three, and then the fourth,
Mark Wahlberg
fourth one,
stepped
and
in.
I seen the first four, and then I skipped 5. I didn't see 5.
Yeah, skip 5. 5, oof, it was.
Which I think
there are people. I have friends that love the Transformers movies. Okay, and they said they would say I loved Transformers 1 through 4. Okay, I thought they were action packed. I thought they were fun. I didn't really care about the dialogue. If I did, I'd say it sucks.
I think I remember liking 4 better than I liked 2 and 3. But
that's relatable because they kind of wanted to start with a new story.
Yeah, I haven't watched 4
that
since
story
it came
was just
out,
trash.
I saw it the one time in theaters, and I was like, oh yeah, that was a pretty decent movie, and then I never saw it again.
Yes.
And then I saw Bumblebee when that came out.
Bumblebee,
which I thought was decent. I thought Bumblebee was a really heartwarming movie. I mean, I don't like John Cena that much, but I thought for the most part, I thought it was a very good story. I thought it was funny, and it was kind of it felt a lot different than the other movies, which I liked. I thought it was a pretty good prequel.
There was more of a now. Steven Spielberg contributed to this movie, and you could definitely tell.
No wonder it's better.
You could definitely feel like some of his more family aspects in this movie.
Yeah.
But what I hated, here's why I hated Bumblebee. Okay, it's because they credited John Cena in the movie, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't see him.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
He's
in there for like 2
It was
parts.
ridiculous. They credited him. They paid him all this money
to be in the beginning
and
of the movie.
And not once
did
we see.
And the best actor in the
we did not see John Cena once.
And the best actor in the whole movie was that young girl. Whatever, I don't remember the character's name.
I can't hear Haley something. I can't even remember her name. It was that forgettable.
She was the best actor in the whole movie. She did a great job, and then she's gonna get undershadowed because of John Cena and like one other big name. Like I'm just like, she did.
John Cena did absolutely nothing.
And yeah, John Cena was like, I don't get why John Cena is getting so many roles. I don't think he's a good actor.
He's not even a good wrestler.
I don't watch wrestling anymore. But
nobody on the WWE.
If you use your first and last name as your wrestler name, I just assume you're a bad wrestler. So,
right, you got to come up with something clever. It's like going into a wrestling match.
Like you come into a wrestling match and it's like, oh yeah,
and you're like, and in the left corner we have Bone Crusher, and in the right corner we have Dave.
It's like we have Bonesaw, and then it's like we have John Cena.
Yeah. Like who are the people going to vote for?
I'm gonna be rooting for the guy
with the scariest name.
For Bonesaw over here.
Right. Even if he's like this scrawny kid, you're going to naturally pick the guy who sounds the scariest. Like you're not going to pick the guy with the name John Cena.
Yeah.
First of all, you can't even see the guy.
It's like Bruce Campbell in Spider-Man did the smartest thing by helping Spider-Man change his name, because it's like, we just like Bonesaw is ready. And then you have, and then it's like, oh yeah, we have the human spider over here. Like, yeah, everybody's gonna root for the human spider, or nobody's gonna nobody's gonna cheer for a guy named the human spider. And so,
then
it's like,
you gotta add more character to it,
So,
yeah,
or even like the guy that played Bonesaw, Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Yeah,
like he started his name with Macho Man.
I'll be honest, I prefer Randy Savage over Macho Man.
It's good, but
that's like a rare case.
But you say it all together, though. It's just like Macho Man Randy Savage. Like, that's what it flows it well. Or it's like The Undertaker.
Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. That's another instance.
Yeah. I think Hulk Hogan was a real name, but that worked for him because that's just a cool name. Like, your first name is Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
he's actually a really cool guy.
But
he's like really inspirational.
But when you have a name when your first name is John, you just can't get away with
that's
a
like
cool
the most
wrestling name.
Okay.
It does not
I'm not
like
going against anyone named John.
Yeah.
I'm not going against anyone John.
I'm not scared of anybody named John. If your name's John, I'm calling all the Johns out there. If your name is John,
we both know a John, and we both know
if your name's John,
that this could end really well. Okay.
If your name's John, I'm not scared of you, old punk.
The name John is just really.
It means Ian.
It's base. It's kind of basic.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know a lot of guys named John, and they're pretty cool dudes.
Yeah.
It's just a basic.
It's kind of
a plain name.
Yeah, it's just not a scary name. I'm sorry.
It's basic.
I'm sorry.
It's not scary. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not scary.
I'm sorry for any guys named John out there that are like trying to act tough.
Right, you're just not scary. We're not saying that you're bad people.
If you want people to be scared of you, don't use the name John. Like, if your name's John, you want people to be scared of you, like, call yourself like Savage Opress or something like that. Like, only a few people will get it, and nobody will be scared of you.
Yeah,
everybody will be scared of you. I mean,
if you're saying that your name is Savage Opress, and someone gets scared, you know you're in the right crowd of people.
Yeah,
right.
I could go on because I have some more movies in mind, but we're getting pretty.
We're getting pretty over time here. Yeah. We're about at an hour right now.
I need to cool down.
I do as well. But thank you guys for listening. This is probably I really enjoyed.
I like
doing this episode.
I like ranting. I want to do more ranting episodes, to be honest.
I do as well. I've probably said this in other episodes, but before today, my favorite episode that we ever did was Call of the Wild. But this is probably now my favorite episode that we've
This is my favorite episode,
recorded.
and I'm not even done editing it yet.
Yeah. Like, this has been so fun. But real quick, guys, if you haven't yet, be sure to like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're going to try and post a little bit more.
Yeah,
I feel like
hopefully.
At least I'm a little bit more refreshed after this whole COVID thing.
Yeah. But hopefully once this stuff blows over, then we'll actually start doing video and stuff like that. We just got to do some testing and just get it all working, basically. And get some lights.
Yep. Like we said, we're recording from our own homes. We can't exactly meet up right now. We're trying to. Trevor is really the master here. Shout out to Trevor. He takes my footage of me screaming and overlapping with him, and he makes it work. He's a master. But I also want to say quick shout out to our first responders that are out there on the front lines fighting this COVID-19, that are going and interacting with the patients.
Yeah.
And, trying to make them better and cure this thing, as well as like the researchers and the testers. Mm-hmm. Guys, you hold a special place in both of our hearts here, and we really do appreciate you.
And also, everybody working at a pizza place. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys.
Oh.
If you work at any other food place, screw you. No, okay.
Yeah. Hey, now.
No, you guys are great too.
Hold up.
Yeah. No, you guys are great too. Anybody who's like working with food and stuff, helping feed people, making people get burgers real fast in those busy drive-thrus. You guys rock as well. All your people in the grocery stores, you guys rock.
Retail workers and first responders, you guys are really rocking it these days.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't thank you enough
I'm sorry
for
that
working
the system
so hard.
sucks right now.
It does.
But
it does. But
hang in there. Thank you.
Yeah, like we said, guys, it's gonna be over soon. But we're really hoping that this thing ends so that we can, interact with you guys.
Hang out.
And also,
interact
guys,
with you guys, and just updates.
Yes, we want to be able to maybe even one day do a live stream where we do a Q&A or something. But also be sure to comment on our material. We read your comments and we acknowledge what you say, and we take your advice.
Yeah.
Like if you've got an idea for an episode or something that you want us to talk about, we will most definitely talk about it. And we'll give you a shout out. If you just say, "Hey, can you say my name?" Sure, we'll say your name.
I'll shout you out.
Go for it.
I'll shout out.
Yeah.
I'll shout you out even if you don't want me to say your name. I'll shout you out.
Yeah, we'll do it. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for listening. I know this is a long episode. Yes, happy birthday to anyone who has a birthday right now.
If it happens to be your birthday and you're listening today, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday to everyone who's had a quarantine birthday or will. Happy birthday to you, Trevor. I know you had a birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a birthday coming up, but whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't care about her birthday.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't want it.
Hey, when do you turn 21?
It's reminding me that I'm getting old. I'm only 18. But, I'm so young, but I feel so old.
I'm surrounded by kids.
Don't say that. Okay, we're going to end the episode there. Thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned for more episodes. We love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.